the world's best teams tournament. If you're committed to an early start, I know some people have, particularly some of the staff, coaches and management of these magnificent teams, setting up for hours already this morning, preparing each and every one of these groups within an inch of their lives. And I think the staff, coaches and management of the players knows more. So full listeners, a big video on day one, starting at 10 a.m. sharp. It was their first match, it was Hall 80 clash between Penguin International and Devil's Advocate Silver Dragons. The game coming out in a little under 10 minutes time. We're at 23 degrees and 80% humidity, so things are starting to just get friendly. On the pitch at the moment, bringing to your attention the Gallon training cycle. As you look back towards the racetrack from the commentary position, you see it to your left, the food and beverage area over there, I think, I hope playing. It's almost ready to kick off. And over there, on the ceiling, hot and cold drinks, hot and cold food, and all that we pay for. I've also been called and some beer as well. So what a treat that is. Six minutes until the kickoff of the first game. Between the Devil's Advocate Silver Dragons and last year's title winners, Penguin International, who have the reputation of being the world's most travelled sports team.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're just getting set up to start the live broadcast from the GFI 2017 Hong Kong Football Club 10s. Joining me very shortly next to me is a living legend, or recently retired legend of Hong Kong rugby, Mr. Leighton Dooley, sitting here to provide some professional opinion on the games throughout the day. We'll have some other commentators with us later on. Robin Bradbury, soon to turn 50 and therefore entitled to have an opinion. Russell, another Scottish lad, so we can talk from the losing side in most internationals. And I think there's Terry Wright, who actually maybe played slightly better level of rugby than you and I.
Aye, indeed, Brucey, he did.
Anyway, we're soon to go underway. The first game today is between Penguin International, I believe the defending champions, and Devil's Advocate Silver Dragons SRFs. They're from Shanghai Rugby Football Club, essentially now. The one thing I'd say about this 10s tournament, it's been going now for a number of years.
32 years.
32 years, and it used to be quite a social tournament. And even maybe 5-6 years ago, there were a number of local players turning out to fill the holes. Now the level is just up and up. I think it's still, despite the fact that the Super Rugby had a 10s tournament this year, probably still the best 10s in the world and competitively. What do you think?
Oh, indeed, Brucey, and I remember many years ago when this was running back in the 90s, quite often the local players would end up, or we'd end up putting in a pickup team, pickup side, and certainly played 96, 97, 98, and it was a mixture of visiting teams, very much a local derby. But now this has taken on significant critical mass as a fundamental major tournament, and certainly you'll see by the number of players that are turning up to participate in this, it's got some fantastic teams playing here. Bit of a big game for the Devil's Advocate. I mean, they're going into the deep end. As you said, Penguins are defending champions. They've done this 3 years in a row, and they'll be certainly not looking to let that slip away. Deep end, though, for Devil's Advocate. Bit of an unknown entity. We'll see how they go. But I'm sure they're going to give it their best shot. And we're going to see some good rugby. There's some interesting pairings here. Some minnows and mighty ones coming up in the next 3 or 4 hours this morning. And thank you. So a bit warm today also here at the football club. Nice bit of a breeze coming through, which the players will appreciate. But we're starting to get out of the colder months here in Hong Kong, and we're starting to warm up. So I can well imagine by midday they're going to be finding it pretty warm, breezy as they go through. So for the spectators, plenty of beers, and for the players, lots and lots of water. And we're looking to kick off in about another 4 minutes, and we'll be at the lock. So, Brucey, I believe you've got the inside goss on most of the Scottish players. He's been studying up on them pretty closely.
I have. We've got an inside source back in Scotland, Bruce Aitchison, ex-Cowlin Rugby. He's given me some details, all of them, some that we can't broadcast, but most of them quite good. But actually, you'll note they've actually got 2 guys from the extended 7 squad in their team to play here. And I see actually the Scotland 7 squad there in front of us, relaxing. Callum McRae, the coach, is down to watch how these 2 guys go. But the Water Boys, they're up in the second game. I'll check which the 2 guys are that are part of the 7 squad, but they're all basically, the rest of them, Scottish Premiership teams. We'll say a bit more about them when we're coming up closer to the tournament. I was actually just going to say a little bit about our main sponsor, but actually let's just use something slightly different first. Yeah. GFI, the first time I encountered GFI was not the sponsor.
Only moments away from kick-off to the
International,
2017 edition.
Where they were the first team that made this tournament ridiculously difficult. Remember, I think they turned up with the entire. They turned up with a whole team of Fijians. They basically got the Fijian 7 squad travelled with 24 and gave 14 of them to Guard Force.
That's one pick-up side.
One pick-up side, exactly. But anyway, we're about to kick off here actually, Leighton, so we have to pay attention to the real side. Penguins International versus Devil's Advocate Silver Dragon. Devil's Advocate, the team now, is essentially from Shanghai University. They're good players, but they're going to find themselves on a very difficult game here. This Penguins team is packed full of quality players.
Yeah, Penguins 3 times reigning champions at the moment, so they're the team to beat here.
But Devil's Advocate start with the ball at least.
Oh yeah, good clean out. There we go, the first whistle of the game.
And a knock
on.
A scrum, Leighton. You quite liked a scrum in your day, didn't you?
Well, that was about the only thing I liked about 10s, quite frankly, and 7s.
Yeah, I didn't even like it in 7s because the referees don't let you push.
No, exactly.
I shouldn't say this, unless you're New Zealand, they seem to let them push teams off the ball.
Well, we are the leading 7s team. Well, 15s, I suppose.
Yeah, you were.
We were.
15s, you got to watch that England team. Apparently, they think they're quite good now.
It's going to be an interesting combo later in the year. The Lions.
Shanghai still with the ball.
Shifted it wide well. Oh, that gone into touch.
Maybe deliberately knocked into touch, that you might suggest.
Yeah, didn't see a lot of arms going into that, nevertheless. Calling for a line out. And Shanghai Dragons still have the ball. Their throw to the line. Playing for the Penguins today anyway, lining up, just to let you know, we've got Gafu Sua from New Zealand, Puki Moala Laviti from New Zealand, John Badal, New Zealand co-captain, Will Warden from England, Tonang Shi from NZ, Eric Howard from Canada, Teddy Stanway, NZ, Joe Webber, New Zealand, Shalom Sunalalia from USA, Russell Ware from Scotland. There you go, Brucey, one for
Russell
you.
Ware played for the Hillen Associates, Scottish Barbarians, here a few years ago, and then made his way into the full squad. Actually, a great story behind that lad. Came back from really bad injury to turn it to play rugby again. Really good young lad.
Good to see him back here again. Following from map is Cullen Circa from England, Tao Kalongamaktangi from New Zealand, Lewis Ormond from New Zealand, Jesse Barate from New Zealand, and Lucky Kelly Fatiki, New Zealand, and Nyama Falua from USA. So a real mixed bag here, Brucey. A lot of good talent coming into this one.
Craig Brown does a great job, both in the charity aspects of this Penguins team, what they do. You know, Dean Harawini here has been involved as well. The charity aspect, when I went to Portugal last year, we ran into a big fellow that works with the Penguins as well. They do a great job, but they also bring some great talent together. Absolutely great. Combination of old experienced guys and young kids that you'll hear much more about in the future. I mean, some of the players that have played in this as young kids, Bowden Barrett played here. The Milner Scudder, the Hurricanes' absolute dancing feet, he debuted here a few years ago. Some really talented players.
Well, they're still doing pretty well to hang on to the ball here, Bruce. I've got to say, the Dibble-Eckets team.
No, they've done well. A couple of knock-ons, but the Penguins have helped. But that's
what
you.
He's through.
Clean break.
Just couldn't put a hand to ball there. Bit of a low pass.
That's a pity, actually. There's something out wide there.
If he picked that up, I think he would have been through, Brucey. Depends what the legs would have been like.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure he'd have made the try line given who was chasing him, but we'll see.
Well, okay, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
It was a good break. I think he was nearly it. 50 metres, mere 50 metres to go. Well, second game up after this, by the way, is Project Waterboys versus the Irish Vikings. This is the Project Waterboys' second time in Hong Kong. We'll talk more about them after the game. And the Irish Vikings are led by Andy Douglas. They were a slightly different name, a different Irish team, but they've been here for over 20 years in this tournament. Absolutely the best entertainers in the tournament. But this year they've brought some really quality players again. The question I'll be asking is whether they're out tonight or whether for a change they stay in.
Shanghai through here. Ball. Can they get there? They don't have the pace to chase it through. Penguins now have the ball. Oh, lost his footing there.
Great play from the Penguins, but he nearly got found out there.
Putting the ball away.
A fellow with a fairly spectacular blonde hair there.
Devils going a bit high there, referee. That looked a bit, referee's called that one, high tackle. He's gone down, he's not getting up in a hurry, Brucey.
No, it was fairly straight on and fairly highly. I mean, nothing malicious about it, but sure. I think that hurt.
He might be answering that telephone this time next week.
No. I think somebody else will be making that run later in the game.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, some of these young chaps haven't got the sense that we have in our older age. Like.
Yes, give the ball to someone else real quick.
Yes, or just avoid getting it in the first place.
That works as well. Devils Advocate, Silver Dragons going for the line out.
You have to say, the sponsors here, Devil's Advocate, long-term sponsor. Those of you that occasionally like a shandy will know it's one of the preeminent bars in Wan Chai. Great for the seven-a-sides, I mean for the sevens and the tens. And we have lists here, hard copies from the Penguins. And from Shanghai.
Shanghai. So we'll just go through the Shanghai players, Brucey, while we're playing this one. Another penalty there.
Just one thing, Leighton. This Shanghai team is putting up with the Devil's Advocate.
Oh, they are.
Putting a great show on penalty. Going to put it in the corner as well. Well, here's the challenge.
Well, I've got to say, Brucey, they've done very well at the moment. They were the 16th seed coming into this one, but they've certainly not shied away from the game at all, have they?
Not at all. I mean, as you say, with these shortened forms of the game, Leighton, what they've done is they've kept the ball.
Aye.
That's the thing.
Let's see if they can turn this great position into points. All over the top.
Well, it's fallen count.
Got the ball though. Driving forward, can they get that ball back? Lost the ball. Okay, lucky, another chance for the Shanghai Silver Dragon, Devil Advocate Silver Dragons. They're going to get a scrum here.
The one thing,
another opportunity.
Like 10s everywhere, Leighton, some people play it as extended 7s and some play it as shortened 15s. I think you would say the Penguins teams play it as shortened 15s with some very quick guys, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they have got some big boys in there. And you'll see that later on. I've heard that the Water Boys, they're all Scottish Premiership, but they're not very big. They're quick, so we'll see how they contend with their game.
They might need to put on a bit of SF 100 strength sunshine.
And
Beautiful through.
that,
Wild throw
that was
back.
a great chance.
Yeah.
And it's broken for the Penguins and broken play.
Managed to scrag him back in the tackle, but lots of support from the Penguins.
And Penguins, that was a clear chance, and the pass went forward. And Shanghai would have been very unlucky, devil's advocate, because really they were in under the post if that guy held that pass.
Aye. That was a great scoring opportunity. Would have been a good one for them to put away Brucey to lift their confidence there. We've got about 2.5 minutes to go to the end of the half. Great scoring opportunity, but nevertheless they get out of jail there and see if they can come back again from the halfway mark.
I mind some players that we know looking great in this tournament. People you wouldn't remember now who look very much like prop forwards, but I saw Junior Sewer run the length of the park in this game, dummying through a very good Fijian team. And if Nigel Clark had run a wee bit closer, it would have been a great score. But there's some great players that we know have played in this tournament.
Unfortunate there, the Penguins demolished the Double Silver Dragon scrum, then got a penalty.
Yeah, as I said, shot in 15s late.
Yeah, here we go, the big man going up. Well held though.
Good tackle.
Nice hands taken high in the air, managed to hold on to it. They're starting to use that muscle and bulk, and the Penguins trying to bash it up.
And that's one of the Shanghai lads is down there after that tackle. He's getting to his feet, but slowly.
Ball coming out wide.
Well, I'd call that out wide through the centre lane.
Well, it would be for me, Bruce. I think half a paddock's quite wide enough for me. And through they go. First score for the Penguins, number 9, Brucey. That is
2017 GFI Hong Kong Football Club 10s. The honour goes to number 9 of the Penguins.
Joe Webber, we believe.
Joe Webber.
Played some good rugby in his time, that boy.
Well, I think there's still some good rugby in him, Brucey.
Yeah, Bay of Plenty, New Zealand Sevens, Waikato, Maori All Blacks, New Zealand under-20s. Don't see Kowloon in that list, mind you. Like.
No, that's one of those small blemishes on a lot of players' profile, not having played for Kowloon.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think if you'd played for the top teams, you would maybe turn out for Kowloon as well.
At least the specials.
I mean, some folk just can't do everything that other players have, I suppose.
In the end, I think there was a pretty good effort by Silver Dragons to hold it to one try at this point. They did have a chance, Brucey. They needed to score that one, but they didn't get it.
I think they had about maybe 2 half chances and 1 real chance in that half there.
Yeah.
And you know, these games, if you go ahead, no complexion, I think it may be quite difficult for them now. Let's see they hold out till half time and regather.
Just a few seconds remaining on the clock till the half-time whistle. Kick-off done. All
And he's
juggled.
dropped the kick-off, which we did without.
Didn't take
They
that.
need to shut this down, Shanghai.
Don't want them to get another score before the half.
That's a
Good
great tackle. And then over the ball.
Great tackle, couldn't capitalise on it though. Penguins still going. He thinks out wide would have been a good option there, Brucey. Big man was waiting. Oh, nice cut back inside.
Just not fielding the kick-off late, and it was just crucial. Second score to the Penguins under the posts. Looks like it's going to be 14-0 at half-time.
Bit of a pity. They just needed to take that ball in off that kick-off and just move it up the paddock and end the half. One try down, but now it's
Second try for the half for the Penguins.
just as the half comes on, Johnny, just going through the team for the Devil's Advocate Shanghai Dragons. Joshua Zunik from Croatia, Philip Valley Day Simpson from UK, Malcolm McCoy Ireland, Caleb Bullock Canada, Raphael Laudiette France, Joshua Lane UK, Alex Webb UK, Matt Holding UK, Bonnie Dutoy, Republic of South Africa, Tommy Kwok from Hong Kong, a local lad, Renoir Louis Chavez from France, Philippe Camocco from Chile, I presume that one is, Paul Sanal from France, Cameron Massey from New Zealand, Luke Taylor, UK, and David Lorella Carello from Colombia.
Colombia, I know actually a couple, there's a Kowloon player in there.
Tommy Kwok.
No, that's a Kowloon, yep. Yeah,
Kowloon
there you go.
RFC. There we go. What were we saying?
That's the ambition of many a player in Asian rugby, play
Yes.
for Kowloon Rugby Club.
South Advocate, we're doing pretty well there. Got away a try. I wonder what the coach is saying to the half-time. Head coach Simon Pang.
You know that the Penguins have got a really strong bench. Leighton, I wonder what the Devil's Advocate boys have got. I mean, they must. I mean, I know you want to be winning, but they must be pleased to the start of the tournament. I've been here years gone by. This team has shipped an almighty number of points and turned up fairly and gamely the second day as well. But you know, I don't know. Maybe there'll be less mismatches this year, Leighton, because if you when we talk through the team list later on, the Irish Vikings have got players in. GFI, who are basically a local finance company, great sponsor to the game locally. They've got 4 Fijians in their squad, so that'll be interesting.
They'll certainly come in handy, I think, Bruce.
Particularly if they start passing to the other 6 players in the back as well. It'll be really quite entertaining. And in the day, back in the day when it was Hill and Associates Barbarians, we had
Not a good start.
Waisai Sarevi turned out for Hill and Associates, and what he did was make Lex Kaleka, the other Fijian in the team, look very, very good.
I'll put him on, yes. So
Yes,
he's
yeah,
done
yeah.
things to do.
Okay, second half's underway.
What an ideal start there from Silver Dragons. Ball into touch, ball comes free to the Penguins.
This big fellow that's got the ball looks like he's got a hint of the ginger about him, actually.
Well, yes, it's an equal opportunity sport now these days.
Oh, I
Brucey.
see, okay, yeah. Generally speaking, as long as you've only got one in the team, you're usually okay.
Well, I think the Irish Vikings will be interesting to see them along with the Scottish Exiles. We'll see
Yeah,
how they
Scottish
are.
Exiles, I'll be very disappointed if we don't at least have one proper representative of the country's heritage.
Here we go, Shanghai. The Silver Dragons did well to push the Penguins back there. That was a free ball to the Penguins, and we're now back on the 22.
I think
Penguins 22.
it's not a big crowd yet. It's traditionally, I always feel this thing is slightly under-attended in the first day for the quality of rugby. But I think all the neutrals will be really hoping that Shanghai can go over the Devil's Advocate can go over the line here.
Yep.
Where the Egg Boys that used to be here and the social side of it, waiting there over, of course, at the Kowloon 10s.
Yeah, the Kowloon Rugby Fest, a great tournament in its own right.
Both of Dave Lewis's, you're a long-term front row colleague for Hong Kong.
Yes.
Both of his sons are playing. Apparently
Richard
they've told
and,
Dave they
John
don't
Paul.
need him, which I thought was rather harsh.
Well, I've got to say the standard of that tournament's gone up quite a bit too, Brucey, having played that about 4 years ago and making it through the finals the last couple of times we couldn't get out of the pool. So that's
I played when we couldn't get out of the pool, Leighton. I don't know whether it was anything to do with the fact that I was playing.
might have been both of us, I think. Brucey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it personally.
Yeah. No. But, you know, it's a great tournament. They do a great job. They raise money for charity. It's good. I mean, but this week, let's be honest, this is Asia's ridiculous rugby week, isn't it? I mean, although it's split now because the World Rugby has moved the 7s, but so it used to be Manila 10s, very social tournament, you know, and there used to be ambitious teams like the Fijian, was it the Guard Force team, used to go and then come to the Hong Kong 10s, having won easily in Manila. Find things more difficult, but.
I've got an extra program.
And tournament organiser Mr. Billy Mason's just turned up with all the information we need here.
Hall of Famer Billy Mason and a King Sunderland supporter. Right, thank you very much. I've been given the job of filing through the papers, figure out who's got what. This tape would have been good. Here we go. I'll try and order these in the coming up, Brucey.
But really and truly, this is a great performance from Shanghai. I think I'd like to see them go over the line here. But Penguins penalty.
Out they come again. Another opportunity for the Devil's Advocate Silver Dragons. Couldn't turn it into points, Brucey.
Yeah, and now and off the top of this line now, you know the Penguins are going to be very well drilled off of this first phase ball, so we'll see where we go. I think I just heard a call from the management of the Scottish team here, not the Waterboys 11. Is there anybody not here? Does he expect an answer to that?
Yeah, all those not here, please put your hand up. Well done, Hamo.
Yeah.
Very good question.
Yes.
There go the
Craig
Penguins.
Hammond, ex of Nottingham.
Aye.
Another Kiwi, that's him next door making all that noise. Like.
The stalwart of Hong Kong Scottish Rugby Club, one of the newer Premier League teams in here, done very, very well over the last 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Great to see.
I saw you on the sidelines a couple of times, Leighton, just looking to fill in.
Yeah, certainly only to fill in, that's for sure, Brucey.
Yeah. Came too late for me, Leighton. I had to stick with Kowloon for. I was old and done by then, but I'd like to have played for them. I did actually turn out for their second team once, and played fairly abysmally. Penguins on the attack. This big fella's going to take some containing all the next 2 days, I think.
Yeah. Got to be saying though, Brucey, I'm pretty impressed. The Dragons here are certainly not giving it away.
Well, their defence is organised. Yeah. It's just, I think what's going to do them is pace.
Oh, should have got that one. Tackle through number 4 for the Penguins, just scored.
Yes.
That's going to take it to 19-0.
Third try to the Penguins.
Big Will Warden.
Starting from a much more challenging angle for the kicker.
England students. Quite big, these students nowadays, actually.
Yeah, the lads are a lot bigger certainly today than our day, Brucey. I don't know what they feed them, a mixture of horse manure and seaweed, but they seem to be taken off.
Yeah, I think that, and I think they get to their bed early, they don't misbehave, they don't stay out and celebrate. I did hear, I saw a comment from Brian O'Driscoll, because he was asking about what they did for the Super Sunday after they beat England, the Ireland team, and he was horrified to find out they don't do it anymore. Back in training, healthy professional rugby players, which we all must respect. But
I think there was a great line many years ago. Colin Meads, the great Sir Colin Meads for Pinetree Meads for New Zealand, was managing a team one day, and they had a nutritionist there, and apparently sitting down at breakfast, the nutritionist was making sure the New Zealand squad was eating very healthy, and Meadsy was piling into his usual pile of bacon and eggs and all the rest of it. And he made the comment, in my day we didn't have to worry about such fastidiousness in the nutrition center. I said, imagine how good you would have been.
Oh, we don't really want the All Blacks any better, to tell the truth. We're struggling to contain them as we are. I mean, although they still make magnificent viewing for the neutrals, as we know.
Here we go, Penguins coming away. Those big men certainly starting to make some holes now.
He's riding him like a lion and an elephant.
And their referee's hand up, so there's something possibly going to come the Penguins' way if they don't score here. Ball shooting wide out over the top, defence is up. Oh.
Pace there, pace.
Here we go, through again, number
8 over. Teddy Stanaway from New Zealand. Beer Plenty, 7s, 15s, New Zealand 7s, Auckland's, New Zealand under 20s. That's a fair resume for a rugby player.
Indeed.
But that's now it's going to be
24-0. See, the kick goes across, Brucey. It's going to be a pretty hard haul now for the
3 minutes late. I think this is all about pride and just trying to get a hold of the ball and keep the ball. I think is what they want to do.
Funny enough, Brucey, I remember playing the Penguins when I first came to Hong Kong in about 1990. We went to a tour to Calcutta to celebrate the Calcutta Cup.
You're a bit confused there, actually. Wait.
Why?
Because Calcutta Cup's usually in Scotland and England.
Aye, exactly. Well, this is the centenary out of Calcutta.
So
we went down there, I don't know why, funny place. Just been here and said, we're going on a rugby tour. And I said, where? And they said, we're going to Calcutta. And the only other team was the Penguins.
Well, that's a big hit from the Penguins, 17 there. Lewis Ormond. That's... And never to dispute the referee, but I thought that penalty could have gone the other way.
Yep.
Penguins with the ball again.
Seem to be settling into the stride now, Brucey.
And maybe the other lads aren't professional rugby players, aren't as well trained, maybe just tiringly.
Yeah, could well be.
Next up, we have Project Waterboys, second appearance in the tournament. Team made up of Scottish Premiership players and 2 players from the extended Scottish 7 squad, I believe, versus the Irish Vikings. Irish Vikings this year have strengthened themselves up.
There's another try going through for the Penguins now, Brucey. They seem to have really hit their stride now, and Devil's Advocate Silver Dragons not really being able to contain them now. Good start, but unfortunately it's all gone against them pretty much now.
Yeah.
So who you got lined up there, Brucey, coming in?
We've got Project X Water Boys. We've got Ben Johnson at number 1, Ryan Godsmark, Jack Turley, who's a Kiwi, playing in England schools, playing at Heriot, Scotland Club 15s. Fraser Lyle, now he's one of the extended guys from the Hong Kong, the Scottish 7th squad, sorry. Peter McCallum, Russell Nimmo, Jake Eaglesham, Dougie Steele, Tom Wilson, Robbie Nelson, Harvey Elms, Danny McCluskey, Kerr Gosman, Rory Leishman, Ben Robbins and Sean McDonald. All of them, from the likes of Ayr, who are a great, well-financed team in the Scottish Premiership now, Glasgow Hawks, Curry, Heriot, Boroughmuir, all the famous names of Scottish rugby, club rugby. Glasgow Warriors, Ayr. I'm looking to see if we get any borderers here actually. So Curry, not too many borderers, which is surprising.
And turning out for the Irish Vikings coming up next, Brucey, another great mix of players. We've got Brian Templeman from New Zealand, Matt Daly from New Zealand, Liam Wordley, England, Sam Palia, Wales, Mark Watson, South Africa, James Solomon, UK, Regan King, New Zealand, William Glover, England, Jamie Parigio, New Zealand, Ollie Brosnahan, New Zealand.
Just to interrupt you, the Penguins just dragged the defence over the line for hopefully a final try of the game. I'll tell you what, Leighton, the Irish Vikings, as I say, you need to hear Big Andy Douglas conducting the singing later at the end of the Thursday is great, but there's not too many Irishmen in there.
Well, could have been. I think Kiwis had to come from somewhere, Bruce, so we'll take Ireland, Wales, Scotland and England.
I was talking, there's actually a Kiwi,
I suppose, of course,
Kiwi-born lad in the extended Scottish 7th squad this year, but I had a word at a reception the other night, actually. About 150 years ago, we lent you a whole breeding pool of Scotsmen, and really we're just taking 1 or 2 back. That's the way I'm looking at it.
What I can't understand, Bruce, is having been down to Dunedin, where most of the Scots arrived from New Zealand, they spent 6 months in a leaky lake to come to a place that was half a degree cooler than what they left. They really must hate the English.
Yeah, we've got far better neighbours than the Maoris down there, I'm telling you.
So Ollie Brosnan also playing for the Irish Vikings, Tom Fitch, Will Atfield, Brett Kelly, also Mark Agnew, Josh Hirsch and Doug Fluker, New Zealand. Here we go, a lot of debutants coming in here for this round. Most of them actually, pretty much. There's a couple have been here in the 2002-16, so Liam Wordley, Brian Templeton and Mark Watson having played this tournament before.
I'll tell you what, the Irish Vikings nearly always play above their weight. They'll give one of the big teams a really hard game, although this year I must admit they've actually come looking at the debutants are always interesting, because Andy and the squad, they do a great job of finding talent to play in this team. There's always a couple of game breakers in there, and usually they've got some big boys as well. They understand the requirement to be a fair size.
Yeah, a bit more of an even seeding here, Brucey. These seems to be seeds 8 and 12 having a run out. And again, I suppose, even though a lot of debs here, as you say, it's a real mixed bag. You don't know what's going to come out the paddock here in terms of ability and talent, and it could be completely different the other way around.
That's absolutely, but the thing is, we're obviously lucky with the television coverage we get in rugby now, and with Rugby Pass and such like that, you can watch everything around the world. But as I say, Milner Skudder, unknown young Kiwi lad, played at this tournament, and you could see then, he was 17 I believe, you could see then what was coming. And the other end of the thing, that what you see is that how good mature players are. If you watch down in the Super 15, Super 18 now, how good George Smith still is. Well, we've had them here, when the Asia Pacific